Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and follow if you like my content. If you want a reminder, hit that bell. Thank you for watching.
Do you remember when we fell in love? I remember, don't worry. Do you remember? I remember how it all began. How could I ever forget? It's the first time. Do you remember? I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it coming in the air now. I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it. It's coming in the air now. Oh, no. We fell in love. You remember the time. How could I ever forget? You remember the time. Oh, no. We fell in love. You remember the time. How could I ever forget? Coming in the air now. They'll never know this love and how it feels. I never thought love at first sight could feel so real. They'll never know this love and how it feels. I never thought love at first sight could feel so real. How it real, how it real, feels so real. How it real, how it real. How it real, and that feels so real. How it real, how it real, how it real, feels so real. How it real, how it real, how it real.
Hollow has defeated Free Kick Stormridge in a duel.
Howdy, 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 howdy. Alright.
Ruined Stormridge points at muted. Lalila Stormridge says, XD.
Now I'm gonna have to go search that. Demon hair. It's a pet, right? It's a pet.
Topper McNabb says, could ye spare some coin?
Alright, we're gonna go now. Where is it?
Thomas Miller says, freshly baked bread for sale. Oh, excuse me. Topper McNabb says, could ye spare some coin? Thomas Miller says, fresh bread for sale. Topper McNabb says, help a poor bloke
I
out.
knew I wouldn't find it.
Kyra Boucher says, festive midsummer, death night.
Oh yeah, not a death knight. I hate this one because you throw fire to these and you know the
General
fair
Hammond
that
Clay
happens
yells,
once in a
people of
while, they should
Stormwind,
have that a little more.
bear witness
like,
today to the deeds of Chercy
instead of every
Maligas,
once in a
who has stood
while,
valiantly
or
against the
so
many
many
foes that
times,
would
they
threaten
should
our
take
fair
and
city.
literally make it like
General Hammond
available
Clay yells,
as a
for their
portal
courage,
to go
we
there
honor Chercy as Lion
anytime
Guard, defender of
that you have
Stormwind
to
and all her
earn.
people. Rise and light bless you, Lion of Stormwind.
It should be an achievement if we only reached level 80. I know I saw that guy. He saw me and he ran. He ran quick. Usually they like to hide up here. Here. Sometimes they'll hide over here. And over here. And on top of the house. That's funny. It is so fucking hot that my milk I poured not even 2 minutes ago, and it's already tasting kind of old and spoiled. I got a fan blowing
York's
just so I
wife
can
Burning
stay
Blade
cool
says,
enough because it's
"What the
over
heck,
100
dude?"
in the house.
York's wife Burning Blade says, "You're in my spot."
That damn milk. That's fucked up. Doesn't last forever, you know?
York's wife Burning Blade says, "Whatever man, just spot me 10 gold and we're cool."
I will be playing some different games here. I don't want to explain where that cough drop went.
York's wife Burning Blade says, "Sup fire brutta." Not my main Sargeras says, "Sup." Pre-kick Stormridge has defeated Ist Blood Furnace in a duel.
I have many
York's wife
lucky
Burning
dudes,
Blade says,
you
"Wanna
like.
see something cool?"
See, those little dots allow me to tell if somebody is around or shouldn't be around. It'll see them all. See, that's what this here. And these are, of course, the characters, you know. But if there's somebody that shouldn't be there, I can see them.
York's wife Burning Blade says, "Also you're a pig gnome." Not my main Sargeras says, "LOL." York's wife Burning Blade says, "That's cool, that's cool."
Druid, yep. See, they're using the same thing I'm using that I like using on this. Because most people don't know. You can actually turn yourself into your normal person and be like that. But you're still the Mookin regardless. So you get the benefits of being a Mookin but looking like yourself. Ever since I found this cliff, I've turned most of mine into that. Because I really don't care for the way the Mookin looks. It looks like a fucked up fat bird that ate too much.
You are now queued in the Dungeon Finder.
You know, it's funny, I do so many dungeons that I don't benefit from that, where you get the 190 something you're supposed to get every day if you do a dungeon. I've done so many in the morning and in the afternoon and in the evening that it doesn't give me the 100 except once in a blue moon when I don't play for a day. Being on medical marijuana sometimes is nice and sometimes it sucks because, you know, people look at me like I'm a freak because I'm smoking it when I smoke it in public, because it's medication with the card, so I can smoke it because I'm on every 3 to 4 hours, so I get to take it anywhere I want. Only place I can't take it is a federal building because it's not federal legally, it's state legal. See, the feds still can fuck with you to a point. It'll get tossed out of court 9 times out of 10 if you got a medical card, because the state usually will not prosecute. And especially if you're doing everything legal, there's nothing they can do. Even the federal government can't really do much unless you're actually dealing, and if you're not dealing, then you're fine. I'm not a dealer, nor do I ever want to be a dealer. I'm a smoker. God, it's gonna take forever getting this fucking dungeon. That's the thing they need to work on too. We need to make it easier to get in a dungeon. They need to make it where you don't have to have all the same people. Why the fuck does it keep going? I just ran into a tree. You know, I do that every time I come through here. I run into something. I like these little things. Oh, if you type that in, you can't find it. You can't buy it, purchase it, or anything. Prove it. I love it when people say you can find it. You can't. Get everything but that. Now, even if you write if that's what it is, nothing. No matter what you do. So, let's go to, usually the toys are in this, and usually it's in other junk, even here. Let's do quests. Maybe it's a quest item. No. No. Recipe. No. It's definitely not a consumable. It's not a glyph. You just search it by itself. Just this. And that's what that thing was called, and it does absolutely nothing to find it. It's not even looking for it. Oh, you get a pet. Ooh. That's quite a bit for a fucking pet. The person that put this on here should be kicked off. Anybody that's over beyond pricing animals or any of this shit, they should be just fined for it. There should be an actual maximum amount you can pay. No more than a certain amount. It's called, you know, nobody can afford that, and anybody that's stupid enough to pay that much for anything, you're an idiot. Your mama should smack you in your face. That's how dumb you are. With all those items you can get yourself. That's getting old. And all the stuff that I buy, yes, I can get it myself, and I do quite a bit, but there are some things that you cannot get on certain characters. But you can buy them,
Midsummer
and I buy them
Celebrant
for other
says,
characters
the Horde have
that
tried
can't
to
buy
steal
them
our
because
flames.
they don't have enough money.
I hope
Well,
we
my
return the
character
favor.
has money on this one. Sometimes you have to complete a mission that you have to do, and sometimes you can buy it, and then instead of doing the mission, you can get it. So when you do get the mission, you get something different. Other ago, when I was going to the fair on the game, I'm not sure if I've played it on this account or not, but I believe I have. But flying through the loops, it used to give you a
Midsummer
if you
Celebrant
did
says,
so many, like
the
I've done
Alliance
them all.
fires
I
burn
went
strong
around
and
the
true.
entire board and collected all of them, and it gives you a mount. Every time I collected all of them, it
Midsummer
gives me the
Celebrant
exact
says, the Alliance
100%
fires burn strong and
same
true.
mount every time. But they make it so you can't sell it, you can't give it, but yet it's the same damn mount. It's like somebody in the programming goes, haha, fuck them. You know, the whole point of, you know, doing something like that, you should have the right to have something a little different. But evidently they think that's the only prize it should ever be. Or give more tickets out so you can buy more stuff with it. There's a lot of things that World of Warcraft lacks in, and there's a lot it doesn't. Like, I would love World of Warcraft to come out with an upgrade you can buy, and they should upgrade it with higher graphics, and so it can be better, or allow some company to make a mod for it that will actually work. And see, the mods that you can get for it don't really affect the game. It'll affect your game, but it won't affect other people's game. That being said, so many people on here, I've in the past used to say it all the time, it'd be so nice if they just would do certain things. And I've beta tested, because I've done, you can play the beta and you can tell them what's wrong or anything like that. And they give you a little thing you can click. I've made videos with it, because before you could do the 1B button, that 1B button was only in the beta. And it was only in the 1.71 or something like that. I'd have to, hang on a second. In the 11.17 version, it was in. So that being said, that's the only place you could use it. What is everybody running to? I don't see a horde anywhere. I know they like to hide in these stupid trees. They like to hide everywhere. Keep getting them out of my mouth. Get me in a dungeon. I want to level up. Like I said, it's like when you do a dungeon and you do so many of them, eventually it takes forever. Like it expects you just to cancel and say fuck it. But I'm a dick. I'll let it sit there the entire time I'm on it. Or I'll join and unjoin, join and unjoin, join and unjoin. But it's funny, if you're a tank, you can find a dungeon all day long. But if you're anything else other than a tank, you can't find a fucking dungeon for shit. And maybe it's just this realm I'm in. I just want to level up this character. I thought about moving half of my characters to another realm because most of the people in this do exactly what they're doing right now. Nothing. None of them do dungeons, none of them do anything. They just sit there. I will be doing some VR. I'm working on something with my green screen so that while I'm playing the game, you can see it here and inside. So it's a story. I'm trying to work it. But I'm going to wait until my other TV comes back up here because, like I said, our TV in our living room went out. Like the lights. Like you can take a flashlight and you can see the screen, but all the lights inside are out. So what we're going to do is we're going to buy another TV and then attempt to fix that TV. And if it works, we're going to take and put it in our music room, and mine will come back up here so I can have my TV back. And then I am going to be buying another TV to replace an older TV I have over here that I usually play video games on. And it does work, but it's actually for my server, but I do play video games on it. I have to buy an adapter for this and this one both here because they're all like this. You can't really see it. Oh yeah, you can see this one here. There's one here and there's one here. So, and they're cut in between. I don't want to move them right now, but what it does, it sits in front of my desk normally and sits open like that. But since this monitor is much smaller, having it, 8-9 feet away, almost 10 feet away, is kind of hard to read all these little symbols that far away. Now, don't get wrong, I have a 45-inch TV over there now, but I had a 65-inch TV and went down, so that one's even hard to read from this distance. My eyes are getting worse the older I get. That's another thing that chaps my ass is the government and all government would rather pay for glasses every 6 months and through a lifetime spend quite a few thousands of dollars when they could actually pay for the person to get eye surgery to fix their eyes and never have to buy glasses again or pay another bill after that. But they would rather taxpayers pay money for it than to give someone actual treatment that would successfully fix their eyes. I know quite a few people that have done it and have had great success, and I've never known anybody that has had a problem. The burrito's probably cold as shit. Yeah, I was cold. Word. Come on, man. I know it's hard to see because it's nighttime here. I gotta clean my mouse so I can kill a dragon. have to wonder if I actually completed the full setup. Because my powers right here tells me that I never did. Or I tried to, but never finished it.
What news do you bring?
I have been here before. Skip it. Cancel. What am I supposed to do?
Your path is
Did
chosen.
I never pick out my... Okay. Well, folks, I gotta take this shit downstairs, and I will be right back. Don't worry. We're gonna have a little more fun. Get fucked up. Try to be coherent and do this. Yeah. As coherent as I can be. Alright, so like I said, I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Do you remember when we fell in love? I remember, don't worry. Do you remember? I remember how it all began. How could I ever forget? It's the first time. Do you remember? I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it coming in the air now. I can feel it. I can feel it, I can feel it, it's coming in the air now. Hold on, we fell in love. You remember the time? How could I ever forget? You remember the time? Hold on, we fell in love. You remember the time? How could I ever forget? Coming in the air now. They'll never know this love and how it feels. I never thought love at first I could feel so real. They'll never know this love and how it feels. I never thought love at first I could feel so real. How it real, how it real, feel so real. How it real, how it real, how it real, and that feels so real. How it real, how it real, how it real, feels so real. How it real, how it real, how it real, and that feels so real.
Do you remember when we fell in love? I remember, don't worry. Do you remember? I remember how it all began. How could I ever forget? It's the first time. Do you remember? I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it coming in the air now. I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it. It's coming in the air now. Hold on, we fell in love. You remember the time? How could I ever forget? You remember the time? Hold on, we fell in love. You remember the time? How could I ever forget? Coming in the air now.
Our first time, we our best time. It turned into nighttime. I was sipping on a fine wine, shining like the skyline. Wish I could rewind time and replay it in my mind. Replay it in my mind. They'll never know this love and how it feels. I never thought love at first I could feel so real. You brought emotions out I couldn't feel.
It's the first time. Do you remember? I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it coming in the air now. I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it. It's coming in the air. Coming in the air. Coming in the air now. Hold on, we fell in love. You remember the time? How could I ever forget? Hold on, we fell in love. You remember the time? How could I ever forget? You remember the time? Hold on, we fell in love. You remember the time? How could I ever forget? Coming in the air now. Coming in the air now.
They'll never know this love and how it feels. I never thought love at first I could feel so real. They'll never know this love and how it feels. I never thought love at first I could feel so real. How it real, how it real, feel so real. How it real, how it real, how it real, and that feels so real. How it real, how it real, how it real, feels so real. How it real. They'll never know this love and how it feels. I never thought love at first sight could feel so real. They'll never know this love and how it feels. I never thought love at first sight could feel so real. How it real, how it real, feel so real. How it real, how it real, how it real, and that feels so real. How it real, how it real, how it real, feels so real. How it real, how it real, how it real, and that feels so real.
Alright. So,
You are no longer away.
you know how I can adjust this? Watch this. I wonder why it's not showing up. It's wanting me to skip it when I shouldn't have to skip it.
Come forth and be judged.
See, that's my problem.
Until we speak again.
It's wanting me to. Okay, well, we can do this through the end. Let's see my settings real quick. No, that's wrong. Yeah, I turned my settings down just so I could get a better sense. It's gonna force me to fucking do this shit. See, there's 2 people standing here, but there's nothing. So, that means 1 or 2 things. Okay.
We will face whatever comes.
Hear the words of the Arbiter. All
Quest accepted.
will be judged
Choosing your
fairly.
purpose.
So I never did pick it up.
Something to report? Do not forsake your allies.
Really? What is this?
Reverend breath must be restored. My kind require purpose.
I have both of these ones on other characters. So,
Oh, this should be interesting. Never a dull
I
moment
have
with you.
those on another character. Same as this.
By the Archon's grace. Stay true to our eternal charge.
I think that's the norm. Let's see. And you can change this, by the way. It is not permanent. Yeah, see, but can be changed later. You can change it anytime you want, but it's the way you have to change it. You have to be careful. So, basically, you can play this character with this. If you don't like it, you can go over to this guy or these, and you can just switch them that way. But when you do, you can't switch back. You have to switch to another one. So be careful.
Speak, mortal.
Choosing your
I
purpose
will
completed.
consider your words
Experience gained.
until
54.
we speak again.
Received 12 gold. 87 silver. Samza has earned the achievement choosing your purpose. You have learned a new spell, Fleshcraft. You have learned a new spell, Adaptive Swarm. Quest accepted. Report to Mevix.
Maldraxxus honors you.
Report to
Show
Mevix
no
completed.
weakness. Offer no
Experience
mercy.
gained. 12. Received 2 gold. 57 silver. 40 copper. Quest accepted. Taking the seat.
The purpose reveals our way. Trust in the Arbiter. Keep to the path. May the
Discovered Theater of Pain. 612 experience gained. Baroness Jerka says, it is an honor to bear the torch of challenge. Use it to light the braziers that call the great houses to the arena, if you are fast enough to do so.
If you are fast enough.
Discovered Iron Trench. 612 experience gained. Morris Red Scar says, that's a fine weapon you have there, Ma Walker. Baroness Jerka says, I knew you would return.
Your skills will lead us to victory. Only the strong survive.
Discovered Seat of the Primus. 612 experience gained.
Come, mortal.
Prime Shield Guard says, all is secure. Taking the seat completed.
Necrolords,
experience gained.
true defenders
12.
of Maldraxxus. Hear
Received
my
2 gold,
words.
57 silver, 40 copper. Quest accepted. Welcome to our house.
We now hold the sanctum.
Baroness
Thanks to the
Jerka
deeds
says,
of this mortal
come,
who
Zanzal.
stands with our covenant.
Baroness Jerka yells, Necrolords. True defenders of Maldraxxus. Hear my
Though
words.
the Primus has long been absent from
Baroness
these
Jerka
halls,
yells,
the
we now hold this
Mawwalker
sanctum,
embodies the
thanks to the
virtues
deeds of this
he
mortal who stands
instilled
with our
in
covenant.
the 5 houses.
Ravenomus yells, who has left me so many juicy spiderling corpses. Baroness Jerka yells, though the Primus has long been absent from these halls, the Mawwalker
Step
embodies the
forward,
virtues he instilled in the 5 houses.
Raise your rune blade.
Baroness Jerka says, step forward,
Our
mortal,
covenant
and raise your
grows
rune blade.
strong. Victory for
Baroness
Maldraxxus.
Jerka says, our
Victory
covenant grows
for the
strong.
Shadowlands.
Victory for Maldraxxus.
For Praxis.
Victory for the
It is
Shadowlands.
a great honor to wield the power of
Welcome
the
to our
Primus.
house completed. Experience gained, 108.
Do not squander this opportunity.
Received 25 gold,
Mawwalkers.
74 silver. Quest accepted, Power of the Primus.
Within
Alexandros
you
Mograine
lies
says,
the
it is a great honor to wield the power of the
might,
Primus.
and guile.
Baroness Vashla says, do
Conquer
not
your
squander this
mind.
opportunity, Mawwalker. Vision of the Primus yells, within you lies the courage, might, and guile to conquer your rivals.
Defender
Vision of the Primus
of
yells, unto you,
Maldraxxus.
I bestow this power. Defender of Maldraxxus.
Loktar. Every defeat is
Power
a
of the
lesson.
Primus completed. Experience gained, 54. Received 12
Strength
gold,
and
87
honor.
silver. Quest accepted, a hero of great renown.
What are my orders? Fight to win!
A hero of great renown completed.
The battlefield awaits!
Experience gained, 12. Received 2 gold,
Only the
57
strong
silver,
survive.
40 copper.
Bodies
Quest
break.
accepted,
Glory
glorious
is
ambition.
eternal.
Glorious ambition completed. Experience gained, 54.
Speak
Received
up,
12
soldier.
gold, 87 silver.
Back to your post.
Quest accepted, a call to service.
Fight well.
A call to service completed. Experience gained, 12. Received 2 gold, 57 silver, 40
Here for
copper.
inspection. Reach out and
Quest
claim
accepted,
your glory.
a calling in Maldroxus.
Everything must be earned.
Quest accepted, anima is strength.
Accept.
Anima is strength completed. Experience gained, 12. Received 2 gold, 57 silver, 40 copper. Quest accepted, into the reservoir. Prime Shield Guard says, it is an honor to fight beside you. Unbreakable Earth says, you, soft flesh. Unbreakable Earth is preparing to charge. You receive loot. Front row sandstone. Grandmaster Bull yells, wild and untamed. A mighty beast asserts its dominance and roars for all to hear. Grandmaster Bull yells, nature's primordial wrath personified, the gene sword Dev Morta. You receive loot, desiccated humerus.
Who's next?
Grandmaster Bull yells, wrested from the twisting nether, a lord of the pit turned glorified pit fighter. Grandmaster Bull yells, devastation awaits all who oppose Azmogul. Azmogul says, you insignificant please offer me no challenge. receive loot, dented armor plate. Grandmaster Bull yells, terrorizing the skies above the Shadowlands. A winged nightmare descends upon the arena. Grandmaster Bull yells, a dread creature of immense necrotic power, Xantuth the Blighted. You receive loot, bone clutched stave of the Aurora. You receive loot, spindly flesh. Grandmaster Bull yells, extraordinary. A victory for the ages. Grandmaster Bull yells, raging earth and magma rise and take form against their will. Grandmaster Bull yells, seething with the desire to be free. Behold the unbreakable earths. Unbreakable Earth says, you, soft flesh. Unbreakable Earth has overcome the golden rage of the approaching darkness. You receive loot, crumbling sandstone.
And it reset.
Grandmaster Bull yells, wild and untamed. A mighty beast asserts its dominance and roars for all to hear. Grandmaster Bull yells, nature's primordial wrath personified. The Gene Sword Dev Morta. You receive loot, brittle bark.
obviously, I'm not doing anything out of this.
Baroness Drika says, it is an honor to bear the torch of challenge. Use it to light the braziers that call the great houses to the arena, if you are fast enough to do so.
If you are fast enough to do so.
I love how it's a level 60, but it's taking everything out.
You receive loot, Mard Skinx2. You receive loot, Tenebrous Ribs. You receive loot, Putrid Sludge. You receive loot, Skeletal Tusk.
Well, evidently, can't attack that.
Discovered Forgotten Wounds, 612 experience gained. Discovered the Spearhead, 612 experience gained. Discovered House of the Chosen, 612 experience gained.
Under observation.
Baroness Drika says, sentries from the House of Rituals keep this area under observation. They will find no secrets here. Destroy them.
I think I can have a point. I think this is actually a Death Knight thing. I'm trying to remember how I got out of here. Well, I didn't. actually took and used this. Time is. Well, evidently I didn't get in a dungeon, but at least I got some of this done. So. I think we're going to call it here. We'll see you tomorrow. Around the same time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and follow if you like my content. Thank you for watching.
Do you remember when we fell in love? I remember, don't worry. Do you remember? I remember how it all began. How could I ever forget? It's the first time. Do you remember? I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it coming in the air now. I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it. It's coming in the air now. Oh, oh, we fell in love. You remember the time? How could I ever forget? You remember the time? Oh, oh, we fell in love. You remember the time? How could I ever forget? Coming in the air now.
They'll never know this love and how it feels. I never thought love at first sight could feel so real. They'll never know this love and how it feels. I never thought love at first sight could feel so real. How it real. how it feels.